Hey guys, NeusNexus here, about to be doing something a little bit not usual on my channel, god damn it. This is a series I'm starting called Interview with a Gamer, and today I have TashdaCat. You can say hi now, you shy boy.
Hey there guys, how's it going? None of you have any clue who I am.
I bet so.
I have emerged
Probably my
from the mist.
Yes, and his channel is right in front of me right now. We're gonna get to that in a few minutes, but first off, let's start with a basic question. Why do you game?
Well, why I game now is a continuation of why I gamed as a kid. That's to escape a little bit. When I was a kid, it was all about the escape. Now it's because games do stories better than everything else, I find. I mean, let's be blunt here, shows, movies, books, they all lack one key thing in a story, and that is immersion and, what's the word I'm looking for? Putting yourself in the story. I've always loved that.
Yeah.
To me, games offer that. Plus, it's fun to just jump into a game and run around being a nutter.
Well, yeah, that's the truth of it, especially with different types of games, like role-playing games like Dungeons & Dragons and stuff like that, and to things like Civilization in The Sims. You know, in Sims, you could, put children into a bathtub, and I'm not going to continue that sentence, though. That'll be...
We can't do that.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
they
right.
removed swimming pools in the Sims 4, I believe it was. They probably patched
it.
They
did?
They did at launch. They might have patched it back in, but I don't know. I haven't played it in a while.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking about it, because I remember playing, like, really old Sims where it was like, just put everybody in the pool and not let them do that.
Like I started The Sims way back at The Sims 1. You have any idea how long that's been? No matter what I could do, I could never get my Sims to last more than about a week. And it was either due to them outright refusing to eat or me getting bored, taking them in a pool and taking out the ladder. That's the classic way to get rid of your Sims.
Yeah, and then so totally my fire alarm went off in my building, but you know what? I don't care. This is it's kind of impromptu anyway. Whatever, it's all good. Okay, all right. Since we kind of asked about that, what are you currently playing, and what would you recommend to people actually watching this?
Well, I've actually just gotten off a 10-week hiatus of not having my actual computer back. I have been gaming off of a small laptop made when I was in high school, most likely, and for the record, I am 25 as of time of this recording. I left high school about 17, so it's been a long fucking while since I was there, and this laptop was low end even then. It could run a few very low end games. It could run Civ 5 in strategic mode, which is how I play Civ 5 anyway. So I've been playing a lot of that. I've also been playing a lot of an early access game that Walder, one of my friends, got me on to, called Kingdoms and Castles, which is a really nice simulation.
Okay.
City simulation.
How is that, by the way?
I absolutely fucking love it. I actually have here. Kid and I were talking about it. My friend Kid Fox and I were talking about it, and I said, "Here it is." No, that's not it. I'm an idiot. Basically, it's detailed simplicity. Nothing in the game is there for the sake of being there. Everything works in concert. Like the first time you boot it up, you think, all right, I've got people, I need farm. So you try and put down a farm. It'll work because you need a road, so you put down a road. You're never told at any point in the game, at least right now, they might patch in tutorials later, that you need this to proceed or this to proceed. You are left to work it out for yourself. And I really enjoy that style because you don't see it a lot. Like Banished was really the king of that for a while for me, because you're never explicitly told in Banished, your people are dying, you need a nursing house. In Kingdoms and Castles, you're very much told, well, this is it, this is what you can build, this is what you need to build them, go wild. So I've been having fun going wild, mostly in peaceful mode.
Oh, okay.
Why ruin a good city builder with petty things like combat and dragons?
There's the struggle right there, you know. Okay. All right. So right now I have your channel in front of me. Is there anything, like, just to kind of start this kind of thing off, that you recommend that you think that people should actually check out? Like anything on your channel that you find would be kind of an interest point or a start point?
First three things I will always recommend to people start. Firstly, on the sidebar of my channel is a channel called Kintail Fox. Go there and watch the Stardew Valley multiplayer series that I do with him, because that is frankly the best series I have ever done and will ever do, because I adore that series. It's got a bit of a rocky start because we constantly have technical issues and audio issues, but we get into it around about episode 10, and that's the way it goes. And he is an amazing recording partner to have, because we just play off of each other to the point where people have started shipping us, and that's a little strange. But both of us, we found that out because it was effectively made as a revenge ship by a friend of ours called Tiddlywinks, because we made a joke hashtag about her and one of our best mates, Prio. And the community seemed to kind of rally around us, and me and Kid just went, well, let's feed it. So just the amount of innuendo and the amount of stupid jokes that we make in that series is amazing. On my own channel, my Portal Colors series with Mel is probably the greatest thing I've ever done on my own channel. Portal Colors is a Portal mod series that was supposed to be extremely hard. It took Mel hours and hours to do it the first time he played. We got through it in, I want to say, about 90 minutes total. So, like, it was brilliant. The last episode is just beautiful just because of the writing of the mod itself towards the end there, with the weird paradoxes that comes up with, and me and Mel's reaction is just starting to just break down in laughter. Other than that, I'd say I utterly adore so many series, but again, Evolve. I don't play Evolve very regularly. I played it when it came out for free to play with a group of my friends, and we just ripped into it. But it's fun because one of my friends, Alexandria, who's playing the monster, gets really, really salty about our honestly cheap victories. Yeah, if we're talking about if we're just going to put all multiplayer stuff off the table and solely restrict it to one Let's Play I've done, Viva Pinata is probably the most fun I've had, but if I was going to recommend just one Let's Play that I've actually done, weirdly enough, I'm going to recommend Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. Because that I'd only ever played about 15 minutes of that, and I never even got past the first starting town thing. I blind played it for the channel, so all the reactions is genuine, and it freaked me out in times. And by the end of it, I'm not going to spoil the ending, but by the end of it, just anyone who's played that game will know how you generally feel by the end of it. It is really powerful.
Actually, yeah, I know. I'm going to tie this back in to the whole conversation we've had. Now, you were talking about Stardew, right?
Yes.
You were talking about Stardew. Now, we were discussing this earlier before that we started about that fan art.
Yes.
That you were talking about.
I love.
I'm going to bring that up right now, just because, right?
Yes.
Yep. There it is. Okay.
One of our very good friend of Ken and mine's channel, Commander. I think it's called. I think he's Commander O is his username on YouTube and on VidMe as well, which is where most of the series is up. He commented on one of our things, basically like, I really want to do fan art of the ship of you two, and I basically just said, do it. And so he came back with this amazing piece of artwork, which I completely spoiled by thinking that the cat and dog next to the tree was Pedo Bear. Completely spoiled.
It seriously does, though.
It does. I know it does.
It's seriously seriously.
You can see it as a cat and a dog perfectly fine, but once you it's drawn attention to your attention that it looks like Pedo Bear, it's all you can see.
Yeah, that is the truth of it right there. Yeah.
And I burst out laughing. But yes, this is to date, I think it's the third bit of fan art I've gotten, and the first one that Ken got, and me and him just have gone gaga over it to the point where Ken put music to it, some lovely mandolin piece, I believe it was, and uses it as the outro card for our Stardew stuff, because we love it that much, and it's such a good bit of artwork, and it's adorable. I still love that the ship literally became mimetic, because we just said, fuck it, let's actually do this. Let's encourage it. It'll be funny.
Let's talk about your channel mode more so. Your icon, the one that you use for your channel. Where did that come from?
Actually, it came from, originally the icon was supposed to be a full piece that a very good friend of one of my buddies, I do remember her name, but she has requested not to be named when I started, so I'm not going to call her by her name.
Yeah,
but
she
did these basic early sketches, and I was going to pay her for the rest of it, but she disappeared for, I want to say, about a good 5 months. So it never went through, and by the time that she came back, I had already gotten another artist to do it, who goes by the name of Lady Rukiara on Twitter. I highly encourage her to use her. She hasn't been able to get the art to me because her life just took a nosedive after. I'm not even kidding. Like, the week after I hired her as an artist, 3 of her managers at her work committed suicide. The company got sued into oblivion, and she lost her house, her job, and her life, and a lot of stuff because she had to sell a lot of stuff in one fell swoop. She's slowly getting it back, and I've been supporting her over time, just checking in, making sure she's okay, and I'm so happy she is okay because, damn.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's a thing to do.
The current banner art was done by, and I'm going to mangle this, and I am sorry if you watch this, mate, Chikarasu. I think he's on Twitter under that name. I would not be able to spell it for the life of me, even if I had it in front of me. He did a quick vector art of it, and I asked his permission to use it for banners and so forth while I was waiting for the official one to be done.
Yeah. So anything that we're talking about here, any links to Twitters and stuff like that, I will get the links from Tash itself, and I'll put it in the description of this video so that you're able to check them out. Assuming he can find the links, yes. But generally, it'll be good with that. So what type of games do you find are the easiest to record for your channel? Is it just, do you have a certain type that you like to stick to?
Well, as you can see, I've done a lot of BioWare stuff.
A lot.
I've done Jade Empire, which was the second LP, and one of the first more formal LPs that I did, probably because I utterly loved that game to absolute bits. I've done all the Mass Effect stuff up until this point. Everything post, I think it was about, I think it's called Horizon. So everything post mid-game in Mass Effect 2 was recorded, I want to say about a week. Everything post Episode 9 in Mass Effect 3 was recorded in 4 days. To give you a time frame on how heavily I batch record these things. I love story-based games that have a lot of interactive narrative and so forth, that I can actually see the choices unfold. And so it's it's very, very interesting, but then again, I do love a lot of really strange games. Like, I have Stacking, I have L.A. Noire, I've got a really beautiful game called Tengami, which I did completely uncommentated except for the intro. And it was one of the greatest games. I've got Viva Pinata. I have no set type of game that I that is specifically me recording. I will simply find a game, and if I love it to bits, I will record it.
Okay, so you don't
out of my way to
don't go out and find what's popular. You just play these games that you like, and that's when you want to record them. You want to record moments from those, instead of just being the big thing of going, say, this game's popular, and playing that. You'd rather have your like something and then record it, and then go out and say, hey, this person's doing this, I should do this too. So that's your kind of prerogative, I'm guessing.
Honest to God, I don't hate YouTubers that do that, but I do hate the current trend of latching onto one popular thing and making videos of it for a few weeks. I've always hated that. I'm a Let's Player. When I started this channel, it was always going to be games that I enjoy. I don't care if they're popular or old. Like, I don't care if I end up playing, Planescape Torment from, I think it was 98. I will happily Let's Play that game. No, it wasn't Planescape Torment, that was 98. Which one was the one that was 98? Baldur's Gate, I believe it was. If I end up playing that and loving it, I will do it for the channel. Because I don't give an absolute donkey's bollocks about whatever the hell. I will play it if I love it. And I try and make that effect. I have done popular games. I tried to do a series on Subnautica that failed utterly because I just was not having fun at all. And I've done the series on Overwatch, which I did a whole lot of when it first came out at the beta. And haven't really touched since, really. I do sometimes do popular stuff, often by accident, or because it's just what I've been playing with friends, but I don't think I'll ever do here popular LP, because I have a rule that unless it's a proper blind LP, and I only do blind LPs on very specific game types, I have to play through a game once at bare minimum. Twice is preferable.
Okay.
Or something like Jade Empire, where I think it's over 20 times I've beaten that game now.
Okay. So here. Let's see now. Trying to, since we're going on the channel kind of stuff. How do you feel about collaborations with other channels? How do you feel? Do you feel that it benefits both channels, or do you think there's kind of a mix in that for especially smaller channels to a large channel which has more subscribers? What do you think about that whole thing?
Well, I've collabed with people up and down the subscriber spectrum. I've collabed with small ones. I've collabed with, I think, a couple of ones in the thousands now. It's like, I've never been one to say, I want to collaborate with you because you have X number of subscribers that I could bring my audience to, or you could bring your audience to me. I've never been one for that. I've always preferred collaborating with someone I genuinely enjoy playing games with, or I genuinely enjoy talking to. If you are going to collaborate purely for YouTube gain, or to help others get YouTube gain, more power to you. That's entirely your choice. But I'll stick to collaborating with people that I know, that I can work with, and that I already enjoy playing games with. Because if I'm just going to jump into a collaboration with someone purely because they have X amount of subscribers, I'm not going to be able to work and commentate with them as well as I would someone like Kin, who's one of my absolute best friends, enjoy talking to constantly. You need that level of rapport. You need that level of, I'm friends, we work together, or we've been mates for years, so we have this level of banter between us. Otherwise, a video honestly isn't as interesting, at least to me.
So what you're saying is that, especially when you're wanting to collab with someone, is that you kind of feel that you have to have a rapport with them first, have actually done stuff with them to make it interesting for you to want to collaborate with them. As you said, you're not in it for the numbers, you're in it for the commentary and the enjoyable experiences you get along the way, right?
Yeah,
so
the stance I've had since I started this whole thing: fuck the numbers, do what makes you happy, and do what makes you happy. Number one, do what is fun. Never deviate from that. I don't care what the algorithm says. I don't care if playing this game on these dates will get me a bazillion views. If I don't like the game, if I don't want to do it that day, fuck it, I'm not going to. Same thing with collaborating. If I don't want to collaborate with a specific person because I outright don't know them, that's up to me. If you want to literally approach somebody and say, hey, I want to do a collaboration, more power to you. You'll be able to meet somebody, you'll be able to build a rapport, and we're gamers. We always have that level of rapport and banter right off the bat just because of the fact we have this shared hobby, and we've probably played at least some of the same games that we can chat about. But But for me personally, I have to know the person at least decently well. I've done collaborations a couple of times with people that I haven't known well, and I typically don't put them out because they don't work amazingly well. But I have done some the mini golf series and so forth. So I've done that with a couple of people that I didn't know that well, but it was in a group of people that I did know that well. So we still had that banter, we still had that flow going. But one-on-one, for me, I gotta know the person.
Okay. Yeah, and see, that's kind of ideal thing is that that I kind of have to agree with what you're saying, especially when you want to make things interesting. Especially you look at some of the higher up YouTubers, the one like especially Markiplier, Jacksepticeye, and all of them. They're good friends at first, right? And they have the kind of rapport where they work well together. They can easily, play off each other for the different content, and it makes it interesting. Now, it doesn't really matter that they have the huge subscriber count, but is that they work well together and they have that kind of rapport. And like, how there's like these great series that they do, like let me throw back here. Let's say prop hunts. That's a good example. Especially with how, let's say, Mark treats Wade, and so the thing is they have that kind of banter where they always, say horrible things to him and stuff like that. and they build off it, and because they're such good friends, it's like they can just throw banter at each other and it won't even matter at the end of the day because it's entertaining for them and it creates an rewarding experience for the audience. So what you're saying about doing what you want and doing that, I think that's really key importance that a lot of people have probably forgotten as they're doing YouTube now, because it's a lot of people think it's just the numbers game, but I'd rather have it so that you get rewarding experience over the number of people that you have on subscribing to you. If they like your stuff, great, that's great. But I'd rather have the more rewarding experiences.
Agreed.
Like you're going on about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely agreed there. But also with collaborating, like you have to know them well enough to know they'll go the distance for certain collaborations. Like,
yes.
I'm doing a collaboration with Yuichi Haju on Star Wars: The Old Republic that I mentioned. We're doing one playthrough now. I've done 2 of the classes personally by myself on Star Wars: The Old Republic. I did the Imperial Agent and the Sith Inquisitor for those curious. It took me a week, a solid bloody week, playing 8 hours plus per day to just burn through the story end. And by about level 30 or so, because there was this massive XP gain weekend, few month thing there, I don't know what the hell was going on. They gave me like 300% experience point. I'm not going to complain. I didn't even do the side quest, just burned through the story, and it still took me freaking ages. So we're looking, because we're going to try and do everything, all the quests we get in each world, we're looking at bare minimum, probably somewhere in the vicinity of 60 hours for a whole series. Now, if you're going to, I'm picking a recording partner for it, I'm damn straight going to be picking someone I know that will go the full 60 hours with me. Even if at the end of it, they say, that was shit, I never want to work with you again on something like this, I'm perfectly happy with that, so long as what we start, we finish. Especially once it starts getting published. Like, I had a couple of people that I did collaborations with on the thing that we only ever got a few episodes in. Like, or the banter wasn't good, and because it wasn't published, I didn't really mind. We started, Yuichi Haju has started publishing the episodes that we did, so I am going to not demand, but I'm definitely going to push for us to finish what we started and give that sense of closure to the series. Because unless you suffer from crippling technical issues like I did with Viva Pinata, I will always try my absolute best to finish a series.
Okay. Yeah, and so, see, the main thing that I'm seeing that what you're saying is what you want to do for your channel is you want consistency. You want to make sure that if you start something with somebody, you want to finish it, and you want people who will go the distance with you so that it makes it interesting for that, because you don't want to have switch in and out different people where the dynamic isn't as good as the original dynamic that you had when you started the series.
Definitely.
And so you want to go from inception to fruition with the right people so that you know that you will get from point A to point B, and that the series will be enjoyable and also be, worthy of being up there, right?
Yeah.
So
certain series, like you can do Overwatch, you can do Evolve, you can do a lot of multiplayer game series and just switch people in and out. That doesn't really matter too much because those kind of games are a match-to-match thing. But if you're doing something like an MMO or a multiplayer game like Borderlands or something like that, you are definitely going to want people around you that will go the distance with you, especially if you're more of a completionist less player like me. Like the fact that Viva Pinata had to be canceled due to technical issues, which, for those curious about it, was me booting it up to record one day only to find out that it had deleted all of my save data for no reason. Don't know what. I'm not even kidding. I booted up one day. I was like listening to the stupid cinematic in the beginning, just dancing along, going, "This is going to be a great day." No save data. What the fuck? That crashed my day. But yeah, you definitely want someone with, if you're doing big collaborations like that you have a good rapport with, that you can commentate off of, and banter with, and that will go the distance. Like, once you find someone like that, subscriber counts, whether they're big, whether they're small, it no longer matters. If you want to just genuinely collaborate with people purely because they have a much larger subscriber count than you, go for it, see how it works. If it works for you, more power to you. You have found something that works. For me personally, I can't just jump into a recording booth with somebody and knock out several hours of a recording. I have to know them first.
Yeah, that's the thing is, especially it'd be a lot more enjoyable for both parties, especially with that. Because as you know, with the way YouTube is now, is especially tags and all these different things are coming into play. And sometimes great content gets lost in it. So that's another thing I kind of wanted to stretch on to next. Tags. How important do you think they are, especially when it comes to a gaming channel?
Regardless of if it's gaming or not, tags and so forth, and the ability to track search terms and so forth are incredibly useful for a YouTuber. I've got a friend of mine who, I'm not going to name his name, who his stated goal with YouTube was to get famous, get money. That was his stated goal. But he's willing to put in the effort, so he has done, he's read pages upon pages of essays, of interviews, of anything to do with the YouTube algorithm to learn how it works. He's told us a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah.
For somebody like that, it's invaluable. Completely invaluable. For someone like me, frankly, they're formality. I still get excited seeing, some of my videos chart on search terms, but for me, I don't really care. Tags, descriptions, titles, thumbnails, all of it is incredibly important to getting seen in this, if we can be perfectly blunt here, saturated market. We're doing gaming videos on YouTube. Whether we're Let's Players or just general gaming, it is an absolutely saturated market and only getting more saturated each day. There are some massive YouTubers doing gaming right now, and everyone's trying to catch that fame. And because everyone's trying to catch that fame, it is more and more difficult to stand out among just the sea. Because of that, tags, descriptions, titles, thumbnails, video choice, learn it, learn the algorithm, learn how to mold the algorithm to what you're doing. Don't just blindly follow what the algorithm does, because you're not going to be happy if you do.
Yeah, that's the thing that I kind of have come into a contact with. I find that if I just want to make sure that I put tags in that are related to the content I'm doing, because if people are searching for that, I want them to be able to see me. That's the main thing for me, is I want to make sure, to my best of my ability, that I have something that is, related to that, so that people can hook into it and come and see my content and see if they like it or not. Because, as especially, let's use the example of an empty storefront. If there's an empty storefront with nothing in it, people walk by, they'll notice it, but they won't stay to look at it. Now, if there is a bunch of cakes and pastries in there, then people are ooh, they're interested, and they're kind of hungry, and that's what they're looking for, then they'll want to go in, right? So that's the simplest thing I can think of. I'm kind of getting hungry right now. It's terrible.
I was about to say, you haven't eaten lunch yet, have you?
No, but that's fine.
But no. I'm looking at the tags and the tag rankings for my Lost FTA series. Fun Torture Adequate was the first impression series I did, and that's really the only series I give a damn about if it gets good tagging, because I enjoy seeing that. I have a rank 2, a rank 1, and a rank 9 on fairly niche search terms. I have gotten very, very high ranking tags, even beating out notables such as Total Biscuit and Wow Crendor in specific search terms. Tags and the way that you use search engine optimization in general is incredibly important, especially as a small YouTuber. Because as a small YouTuber, what you are going off of is not the large terms. If you do a Minecraft LP and you just tag Minecraft, you're never going to get anywhere. If you tag specific things of what's going in the videos, specific things that you're teaching, so forth, you will get more hits because you will have ranked higher, because there's fewer people with that search term. If I here, I'll go right up here. Just type in Minecraft into YouTube search rankings. 165 billion results. So if we do Minecraft, and let's say version 1.8 specifically, it drops to a little over 1 million. So if we do 1.8 survival, it drops even further. Oh, wait, no, it actually goes up. That didn't help as much. That didn't emphasize the point as much as I thought it would. But
I just noticed something. I'm sorry to interrupt you here. But okay, So I typed in Minecraft just for curious as we were talking here. And guess what the first thing shows up on the search thing?
Yep.
Can you make a complete guess? It's not even related to Minecraft. First thing that showed up on my page.
What?
Fidget cube.
God fucking damn it.
I am not shitting you.
All right.
Right at the top, there is a fidget cube. It's called Fidget Reinvented. It's an ad. On top of that and you were talking how you were using one earlier, and then that is just creepy.
Yeah, I use a fidget cube. It was given to me at work because somebody wanted me to basically just play around with it as an advertisement thing while I was standing on the door at work, and I found it to be very fucking useful. So I bought one. But yeah, like if you search something like Minecraft version 1.8 vanilla survival multiplayer, you will get far fewer hits than just searching Minecraft. So you're able to capitalize on specific search terms. And because of that, you often see a lot of small YouTubers doing tutorials and so forth, because those are very, very highly searched. Like search engine optimization, tags, description, so forth are very, very important for any YouTuber, big, small, whatever. But for a small person, don't try and go after just general tags. Go after very specific ones, because they will get you more views. Like, I get a whole bunch of views off of people searching for insert game first impressions, because I've done it for FTA, and I'll put that in the don't care about the kind of content that you're making. Like, you're not trying to be the YouTube fame. You can do whatever you want with your tags and whatever, and we're not going to yell at you. People will. Some people will. Because to them, YouTube isn't a hobby, it's a job. But I say bully to those people.
Okay. Alright, okay. I'm just gonna see. I'm thinking we're gonna wrap it up with one more question. Generally since it is getting late and I am getting very, very hungry.
And it's currently 0212 for me, so.
Yes, it is very late. He agreed to do this. Like,
we started, for those who are curious, we started about 0140. So
yeah.
It's been late for me, and that's primarily why I'm rambling and repeating myself so much, because my brain is just fried.
Okay. Okay.
To be fair, it didn't help that I got 2 hours of sleep last night after that concert.
Yeah, that's probably not.
It's not helping matters.
Now, the one I noticed that there is a certain thing on some of your videos. Now, I'm guessing this is due to the FTA. Blind? I see a lot of the word blind in a lot of your titles.
Blind is a tag that I specifically put. Like, the way that I do my titles is the episode name and then the series name and series number. And in the series name, before that, I will always put what type of LP it is if it's a specific type. For Telltale's Walking Dead, I'm doing that completely blind from start to finish. So I put blind in the title. For FDA and so forth, I don't need to, because it's part of the series name, FDA, and in brackets, blind first impressions. That's to help it chart a bit better on SEO based around that search term, blind first impressions or first impressions. That was what I was told when I started the series, and that's what I've continued doing. For the specific thing that you're seeing, it would be the one for Telltale's Walking Dead. You'd also be seeing it on Abzu. I think you'd also see it on... I can't remember. Like, I've changed my title formatting and everything quite a bit over the 18 months I've been doing YouTube. Actually, it's longer now. Bloody hell. I've been doing this way too long. But the blind is basically there, partly to help chart in search terms and so forth, and partly to show that if you are clicking on this, it is a blind Let's Play. I don't know what I'm doing. I am going to bumble around a bit. I am going to ramble a bit, and so forth. Like, it is very clearly identifying as this specific kind of Let's Play. And because it is this specific kind, you can expect specific things. Like, for example, in Walking Dead, there are certain puzzles that I don't know if it's me being an idiot or the game not explaining it very well, but I just didn't get. And so you will see me walking around for a bit, and then I will cut to when I figure it out. Like that kind of stuff. Yeah,
that's just... Editing is everything, really.
Editing is everything. He says, not editing pretty much everything. My editing is sync up, make sure all the audios are synced, watch through to make sure it's synced the entire way, and then cut the ends off. It's easy. Unless I'm doing like anything weirdly fanciful, like the game reviews that I do on occasion. Those are fun.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, lastly, I guess we've kind of rambled on for a while now, but it's all good. Okay, I'm gonna say thank you for giving me your time. I know it's really late over there.
It's cool. I'm up this time usually anyway. Yeah. I've completely screwed my sleep schedule up.
Yeah, that's true. Do you have any ending thoughts that you want to say to anybody who's doing this kind of thing, or any kind of sage advice that you can just throw on to the young ones?
Well,
before I end this one?
Grasshoppers. No, seriously, the only advice is the same advice that I will give to every single person doing this. Big, small, young, old, I don't give a damn what kind of content you're creating. Do what makes you happy and do what you find fun. And for the love of God, especially when you're this small, don't think of it as a job. Because the second it turns for you from I want to do this to I have to do this, you might as well give up then, because you are no longer finding it fun. You are finding it to be an obligation. You are finding it to be something that you are being forced to do. Do what makes you happy. Don't give a shit what people are telling you to do. Don't give a shit what the algorithm is telling you to do, what the algorithm is telling you to play, how to play it. Do whatever the hell you want, because the way this whole thing works is that we do what we want. We make the content that we want to see, that we want to make. And then people will naturally gravitate towards that. If they like that certain thing, then they will look at it and they'll say, okay, this is genuine, I like this, and then they'll want to see it. Yeah, it also gives you that level of genuineness. One of my best friends, Walter, he does like old Sega Genesis stuff, and he absolutely loves doing what he does. I don't think he's really touches modern games, and frankly, if he did touch modern games, I don't think he'd have as much fun as with his old stuff. Because that's what he wanted to do. And even like people constantly saying, oh, you shouldn't play those games, you should play these games. Like I did a while back, there's a thing called, I think it's like Let's Play Feedback or whatever it is. It's something on Reddit. And I posted a video there, and literally the response I got was basically, I looked at your channel, why aren't you more like Markiplier? Was the paraphrase, because they basically said you should be playing these games, and you should be on this way, you should have these tags, you should have this, and you could tell they were just copy pasting it because they didn't even look. If that is your attitude to YouTube, that you have to do these specific things, then you are never going to do anything. You are never going to enjoy your time on this site. Make what you want to make, be what you want to be, and more importantly, have fun. The amount of people that I see, the amount of YouTubers that I see just going, oh, I've got to do this and that and the other thing. They're clearly not having fun. The moment you stop having fun, you might as well pack up and leave. Because if you're not having fun, and if you're not enjoying not only what you're creating, but the process of creating it, it will come through in your videos, it will come through in your interactions, it will come through in every little thing you do for your channel. And nobody wants to watch somebody like that who's clearly not enjoying what they're doing. I mean, would you enjoy watching someone drearily going through a game that they hate, not enjoying themselves? No, you wouldn't. Do what you want to do. Fuck the people who say that you can't do it. Fuck the algorithm who only rewards this specific time, this specific thing. Do what you want to. Because look at me. I'm doing what I want to. I'm having a goddamn blast. I don't give a damn about views.
I know. This is damn views, though. Jeez. All right. But anyway, So I'm going to wrap up this episode of Interview with a Gamer, and I'm going to say this Canadian here is rooting for your bacon. See you later, guys.
Have a good day, everyone.